Did an influential pediatric physician turn to the internet to find someone willing to hold his estranged wife captive and break his colleagues' hands, all while forcing his current girlfriend to be his sex slave? And if your head's reeling from that, just wait. This story only gets more bizarre from here. Allegedly, Dr. Ronald Craig Ilg, aka username Scar215, posted this message on the dark web according to court documents seen by KXLY News. I need a rush job for next week. I want the target kidnapped for 7 days. The target destroyed 2 families and walked away as if she did nothing. While being held, she will be given injections of heroin at least 2 times per day. She will be taught to do it herself, and pics and videos of her doing it on her own should be collected. Also, while being held, all means necessary will be done to get the following goals within 2 weeks of her release. First, cancel all court proceedings immediately. Second, return to the chaos she left with her husband and the third party she invited into the house. And third, she will tell absolutely no one about her kidnapping and goals. She should be told that her family's health, including her father and her kids, depend on her completing these rules. It would be unfortunate if her older boy became addicted to heroin, or her dad be severely beaten, or her dog be slaughtered. Any and all persuasion should be used. This needs to be done in 2 weeks. He's accused of offering bonus payments to anyone who could successfully pull off these instructions. A super special extra bonus was offered if, quote, the target asked her husband to return home and go to bed with him at least 3 times within the 2-week time frame. It went on to say, it is important to note that her husband does not know this is happening. The post even offered suggestions to help her explain why she was missing, like she could say she has COVID and is quarantined, according to Creme 2 News. It was an unnamed international news organization that tipped off the FBI. They found the username Scar215 while they were investigating the dark web for a series about murder-for-hire services, specifically about people paying with cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. The feds linked him to that username through a crypto service called Coinbase.com under his name, email address, phone number, and social security number. When they searched his house, they found a locked safe in his bedroom with the Scar215 username and password, which they used to access the messages you just heard. The price to capture his wife started at $40,000 in Bitcoin, which the FBI says he offered to pay once the job was done. Allegedly, he hinted that he had more jobs for whoever was able to pull this off. Luckily, he was talking to scammers and not a violent criminal. A December 2020 restraining order gave a glimpse into his relationship with his estranged wife as far back as June of 2019. She accused him of sending hundreds of text messages detailing his fantasies for their relationship, begging her to return to him, using their son as a tool to harass her, putting GPS trackers on her car and a child tracker app on her phone, and attempting to bribe her to drop the divorce proceedings with money he was hoping to get from a civil lawsuit he filed against his former employer. But like I said, that's just the beginning. He married his former wife in 2016. They were together for 2 years and had a newborn baby when he met another woman online and invited her to join their family. It wasn't too long before his wife decided she wanted out of their polyamorous relationship, but according to Creme 2, the 2 women kept in touch. When his girlfriend got wind of all this in February 2021, she tried to break up with him. Take a look at these screenshots she shared with the FBI. To sum it up, she tells him she's scared of him and begs him to leave her alone, saying she knows he's trying to use Bitcoin to hire someone to hurt his estranged wife. He doesn't necessarily deny it. He just says it's fake and he knew all along that it was fake. And, quote, all the studies show that the dark web is a scam. Somehow, Dr. Ron was able to convince his girlfriend to stay with him, and the 2 of them took her kids on vacation to Mexico in April 2021. That trip coincided with his alleged plot. While they were on vacation, she found the burner phone he was using to communicate with the people from the dark web. She confronted him about it, but whatever his explanation might have been, she didn't buy it. She was sure he was using the phone to cheat on her, so she threw it in the hotel pool, according to court documents reported on by Crim 2 News. That led to a fight which she secretly recorded on her phone. According to the FBI, she can be heard begging him to stop hurting her as she struggles to breathe. Afterwards, she claims he cut her finger and forced her to sign a sex slave contract in blood. Crim 2 News was in court when this document was revealed. Tell me if this sounds problematic to you. It stipulates that the sex slave sign her rights away and unconditionally accept anything the master chooses to do as long as he didn't draw blood or cause internal bleeding or death. And the sex slave agrees to any punishment, whether it was earned or not. So here's what Dr. Ron was into. While the FBI was searching his house, they say they found 2 concrete holes in his yard, underground storage tanks that someone would need a ladder to escape from. According to his girlfriend, he enjoyed keeping her trapped in these underground holes for hours to punish her. He's also accused of using the dark web to try and hire someone to break a former employee's hands in April 2020. The post reads like this. The target should be given a significant beating that is obvious. It should injure both hands significantly or break the hands. The FBI says he paid $1,984.45 in Bitcoin for that, according to KXLY News. She believes she was targeted because of complaints made against him. Ron is the former corporate medical director for pediatrics. According to their website, pediatrics is the nation's leading provider of maternal, fetal, newborn, and pediatric subspecialty services. He'd been with them since 2005, but in November 2019, the company eliminated the position after getting harassment complaints against him, all of which Ron claimed were false. In 2020, he was forced to resign, according to his lawsuit, as reported on Crim 2. I told you his girlfriend and wife were still in touch. While they were still on vacation, she sent this text to his wife. Some strange stuff has happened while we have been here. I need to talk to you ASAP when we get back. But she never got the chance to have that conversation, or at least not the way she'd planned, because the FBI was waiting for them at the Spokane International Airport when their flight from Mexico landed. What did Dr. Ron have to say for himself? According to the FBI, he said yes, he had used the dark web to hire a criminal, but he claimed the hit was actually for him, his way of making suicide look like an accident so his girlfriend could get his assets and not his estranged wife. Except that the site he's accused of using specifically says they, quote, don't do suicides because buyers only pay when the job is finished, so suiciders can't pay. The next day, sheriff's deputies got an assault call from his house. When they got there, they found Dr. Ron unconscious in the kitchen with a black eye and 46 missing Xanax pills. He also left a couple of notes sitting next to an FBI agent business card. One note addressed to his girlfriend reads, I am about to drift off to sleep. I pray that God forgives me. The message to his former wife says, you mocked my love. Why? He also asked her to split her inheritance from him with his girlfriend. And if you think you've heard it all, you haven't. There's yet another woman in this scenario, his kid's nanny. He was allegedly texting her about a kidnapping sexual fantasy involving his wife, according to Crim 2. Take a look at the text she shared with the FBI. It starts with, it would depend on what I decide the scenario would be and your comfort level. As an example, if it was a kidnapping scenario, something many women fear and yet sort of fantasize about, she wouldn't be able to see, and it's almost impossible for her to know it's not me. But if someone was opening doors for me as I led her outside and into a car, it would add a significant amount of intrigue and uncertainty. So it sounds like he might have also been trying to recruit her help with this kidnapping thing? Geez, this guy sounds like a menace. We also found this 1-star review, his only review, on healthgrades.com, dated January 2020. It reads, Ron Ilg is the most unprofessional doctor I have encountered in my life. His bedside manner is non-existent. He came in, asked 2 questions, and then told me and my husband that our child looked wrong and had Down's syndrome. He didn't ask any questions. He didn't explain anything. We saw many, many specialists, and not one of them saw one sign of Down syndrome in her. Ron Ilg is a terrible human being and should not be working with patients, especially mothers who just gave birth 24 hours ago. Absolutely 100% do not recommend him. According to his LinkedIn profile, he is originally from a small farming community in Oregon's Willamette Valley. He went to medical school at Oregon Health Sciences University in Portland. He goes on to say, "Spare time is dedicated to my boys and providing them with the same strong foundation that I had as a child. I have a productive cherry orchard in Wenatchee that we, as a family, maintain and bring to harvest every year. I enjoy the solitude of the outdoors while fly fishing and hunting. Additionally, we are often on the ski slopes as a family and as a ski patroller for the Mount Spokane Ski Park." In his preliminary hearing in April 2021, the defense's position is that Dr. Ron is innocent of at least most of these allegations and also that he belongs in a psych ward and not prison. We absolutely agree with one of those things. If he's convicted, he could get up to 20 years in prison. And that's your recap. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Amy and I are both here on Wednesday with 2 recaps for you. You can also listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like getting all the crime in half the time, please take a second to like and subscribe. It only takes a second, but it means the world to us. Until next time, take care.